ran on the freeway, so he crossed 5 lanes northbound, 5 lanes southbound, and full broad daylight. This is like
back and forth.
Like he didn't get hit, nothing. He just skated by. Helicopter loses him. They lose him even with the heat sensor, everything. They can't find him. He comes out with a change of clothes.
Okay.
This guy's like he's like a professional crook,
Welcome back to Capers, a police podcast here with the IA guy. Today, my dude Trey. T-Money, Trey's Moji. Look, before we bring him on board, we're going to be talking about this kind of crazy, wild caper. Anything that involves pursuits, I'm going to tell you right now, you think you know in the academy they teach you one thing or another, but next you know, when you're in pursuit, everything changes. Everything that you learn, you can just throw that out the window because it just goes. So without further ado, man, we're Code 6 with Trey. Hey, man, thanks for showing up, bro.
Of course, yeah, it's nothing.
Look, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's certain things you probably were taught in the academy about pursuits,
absolutely.
Right? So we have foot pursuits and vehicle pursuits.
Yeah.
Right? And let me ask you this. You know, you're out in the streets. Does everything that you learn kind of like go out the window, or do you think of something?
When you get in your first footy, all that shit goes out the window. You start losing equipment, all kind of stuff.
So talk to me, man. Tell me about this. Tell me about this caper you were involved in, bro.
Yeah, so there was a pursuit that happened, a foot pursuit, and I'm not gonna take credit for it because I wasn't the one that initiated the stop or whatever. It was one of my partners that actually taught me a lot about the job. But it was a foot pursuit about a 5 freeway. The dude was hanging out on the side of the 5 freeway. My boy spotted him, and I was on a different side of the freeway. And when he ran from my boy, he seen me and he turned back around. He ran on the freeway, so he crossed 5 lanes northbound, 5 lanes southbound. And then he got to the other side and ping-ponged back to the other side of the freeway one more time. So he crossed, what was that? That's 10 lanes each way, basically, in full broad daylight. This is like
back and forth.
Like he didn't get hit, nothing. He just skated by. So that alone was crazy. And then when he came back towards me, I was like, hey, police. And then I chased him. He ran into some bushes. I got lost in the bushes. This is like my first real footy. I got lost into the bushes. And then when I made my way out, I seen him again and started chasing him again on foot. I ended up tripping. He climbed over a fence, got away from that point. Helicopter's on top. Helicopter tracks him. He goes into like some junkyard. Helicopter loses him. They lose him even with the heat sensor, everything. They can't find him. He comes out with a change of clothes.
Okay.
This guy's like he's like a professional crook, He came out with a change of clothes, and then we spot him again, and but we're unsure if it's him. We're like, yo, we're pretty sure it's him, but now the dog is involved, so it's like, hey, you better know that that's the person before we send this dog. And then when we see him again, he starts taking off again. That's when they send the dog and they bite his leg and pretty much ended it.
Go for in custody.
Yeah. From there, it was over.
Man, I got a couple questions. Yeah. So first and foremost, what was he wanted for, or how did this all start?
It was like a felony bench warrant for something. I don't know, some type of felony warrant.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was talk to me about these one-man units. Is that correct?
That day we were riding one. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's optional for us.
Okay. Well, you tell me. Is there a preference?
So for me, riding with a partner, if you're gonna do it, it's just good for me. I like to ride, if I'm gonna ride with somebody, just to have similar policing styles, like somebody that's I'm comfortable with can check me when I'm wrong and I can check them when they're wrong. Yeah. And sometimes growing up similar backgrounds makes it easier to communicate with people, and we understand, and we have similar fear levels and stuff like that. So
right. So there's some accountability.
Exactly. Yeah.
But this day you were alone.
I was solo. Yeah, this day I was solo.
And you were on the other side of the freeway?
Yeah, so my boy, he kind of already, I don't know how he knew this dude was right there, but he did. He found out he was there. He found him, yes. That's what I'm saying. He gets the credit for it.
Yes.
But he called me like, yo, bro, I got eyes on this dude.
Let's give him his flowers, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, give him his flowers.
He's the guy, for sure.
But he called you.
He called me like, bro, get over here. I got eyes on this dude. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm there. So
right.
I slid over there, and then sure enough, like, he was like, hey, when I see him, he's probably going to run back towards you. And then he spotted him, and he ran right back towards me. So he just ping-ponged, and that's why he ended up going back and forth across the freeway.
Okay, so I'm trying to picture all this. So were you on the freeway, you playing cornerback, or are you
actually
going?
play corner,
Did you actually think about going, or how does that work?
So I wasn't going. I'm not chasing nobody.
You straight?
No, I'm not doing that. But my boy, he did cross the freeway. I don't know why he did that, but he did though. He crossed the freeway, and that's what got him to commit to one side of the freeway.
Okay.
And that's when I ended up getting into a footy with him from there.
So when he crossed the freeway, he's actually with you.
Yeah. So when he crossed over the freeway, it's kind of hard to imagine, but it's the
Right.
freeway. When he seen me, he crossed the freeway, but went the opposite direction of where I was standing.
Right.
So we're on the same side of the freeway at this point, but he went that way and I went this way. I'm sorry, I was on this side of the freeway. He ran that way, so I had to chase him from that side.
Got it.
So we get into like a chase on the embankment of the freeway.
Got it. And then at some point, you asked for resources, got the airship, and then K9 had to come out.
K9 up coming
so
out.
you pretty much set a perimeter.
We set a perimeter, but the perimeter failed because he got out of the perimeter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long after you guys found him?
It was probably 30 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 40 minutes. It was a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of flowers, I'm curious. Did your sergeants or anybody say, "Yo, Trey, good job, Officer Mo"?
Well, I got some shit for it because I fell, and everyone's like, "Yo, you supposed to be the football guy. You're fast and all this stuff. How you fall?" I'm like, "Listen, a win is a win. We got him at the end of the day, so celebrate all wins. I don't care how it happened."
That is true. Another question I have is, and you kind of already answered it. Any lessons learned that you can think of that we can get out of this for all the officers and even the civilians that are listening or watching? What do you think?
So as far as technically was
I mean, if there's anything that we can get out of this, having to reflect, on this incident, is there something, and it could be that not, the circumstances led you to play out this incident the way it is, or is there actually anything that we can get something out of this, some takeaways?
Yeah, so the biggest thing technically though was going into the bushes. That was a huge no-no. So don't ever do nothing like that because you can get yourself seriously hurt. But not even that, people would have to find you. So if you go into some bushes, no one knows where you're at because even the helicopter couldn't see into those bushes. It's just bushes. So you can get yourself in a bad scenario by doing that. So that was a big no-no on my behalf. Second thing is if you get into a footy, for all my cops, you don't have to catch them. You just have to stay close, keep a visual, wait for everybody to get there because being a police officer, it's a numbers game. We have resources, we have numbers, and we get paid by the hour, so we'll be out there all day if we have to.
Yeah, no.
So you don't have to actually catch the person. You just gotta stay close enough to keep a visual, and that's it. And that was my biggest thing. Being an athlete, a football guy. If you want to run, I'm go. So I'm gonna try to catch you, but I think that I just had to learn. You don't have to do that.
Take Officer Trey, man. He got him.
Yeah, exactly.
Location.
That's a big thing. Yeah, that's a really big thing.
I got to tell you, I was once, many moons ago, my partner and I had a stolen vehicle. In LAPD, we call it Code 37. So when you hear a Code 37 vehicle requesting an airship and a backup,
exactly,
everybody's like,
going,
snap.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was in my neighborhood that I grew up in.
Oh, shit, okay.
And it was happening so quick and so fast that I had to put out to set up a perimeter because he took off.
Yeah.
And the chase is on, but I'm on the radio. And you know what? As much as you actually know your area, I still didn't remember where the streets were, man.
Everything changes when you're under stress. That's what people don't realize.
Right. And then, so for the listeners and watchers, look, the academy is one thing, but and you're, you haven't been out.
Yeah, I'm still pretty fresh.
You're pretty fresh out there. What's the one advice you can give someone when they do get out of the academy and hit the streets?
So people always say you don't learn nothing in an academy, and that's not true. You do learn something in an academy. You learn how to be a cop at its baseline level. That's it. But when you get into the streets, it's uncontrolled now. That's the main thing. So uncontrolled environments versus a controlled environment are completely different. So my best advice is you're not going to know everything and don't act like you do. Yeah. Find some good cops and embrace them. And that's what I did. I feel like that's what got me to the level I'm at now. I feel like I'm above the level of cops my status, my age, or my time on. Only because the pure fact that someone gave me that advice to find good cops and embrace them, and that's literally what I do. I got friends that are the detectives, K9, sergeant, everybody you could think of. I got somebody in my corner that's going to steer me in the right direction, and I lean on them for advice or guidance when I need it.
Yeah, good for you, man. Yeah, stay humble as much as you can.
Exactly, yeah.
T-Mose, man, thanks for showing up. And like always, we're going to wrap this up. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. And just keep push the button because there's going to be others coming up. And like always, please be safe out there. And don't forget to go Code 6. Thank you.